truck is broke. Put on the brakes. Put on the brakes. Welcome, welcome, boys and girls, children of all ages, hoofties, poofties, bung-eyed heifers, right and left wing wackos, woodchucks and chuckettes, kings and queens of the Northeast Kingdom to another version of It's News to Us. And you are watching It's News to Us. We got a crack engineering staff. Thanks, Toddster. Come on, baby. Come on. Come on. All right. Thank you. You are watching It's News to Us. We're in Newport, so this TV news. What is new? We got adult themes and adult language, so this is the only warning you're going to get. Let the kids stay up and watch. Adults go to bed. The kids know more than you do anyways. Beware of the Bronze Age invisible sky god. That's it, you know. It's a 2,000-year-old Jew fairy tale. My God, I was watching Family Guy clips for half an hour on YouTube the other night with their Jesus and the Christmas story. And we're all inclusive here. We cater to men, women, everybody welcome. And we're sponsored this week by the Border Patrol. That's right, we ignore the farmer illegals to stop border crossing illegals. We drive right up the street with our blinders on. Oh, and a big shout out to one of the last of our local Border Patrol people who's retiring. I can't mention any names because of Homeland Security, but he's lived locally. He's been an active participant in the community. He's one of the few Border Patrol that'll actually wave or stop and talk to you because, you know, they do stuff like old-fashioned way, like talking to people in the community, you know, like the people who live there. Go figure. So, Mr. B, happy retirement. I guess he's going to spend half his time between Vermont and Michigan, and we wish him well. And, oh my God, okay, here we go. This is just a more example of the insanity. Okay, this is from today's paper. It's about the prisons. It's insane. Do you know that the prisoners down in the joint in Pennsylvania, Toddster, they have to, thanks, screws in the news, welcome to the prison planet. And what does it say on the guard tower? That's right, Arbeit macht frei. Huh, where have we seen that before? And, you know, weed and drugs, you go to jail. That's right. But defraud Medicaid and investors like little Billy Stinker, well, that's okay. That's just misusing money. That's not like really stealing. And they're charging the prisoners $5 a pop and a copay to see the prison health people, or a doctor or a nurse or whatever, Toddster. And they make a whopping 19 to 42 cents an hour, depending on their job and skills. And the inmates who aren't able to work are eligible for a medical allowance of 50 cents, 5 days a week. Wow, isn't that great? It's just insane. And yet, here we are, right here. And this is from, this is from last Thursday's paper. Maple Leaf overcharged Medicaid. Oh, you think? Well, see, here's the thing, boys and girls. If your name's Walensky, you go home free. He only stole 800 grand from Medicaid, Toddster. No, that's just, and the same thing with that whiz test outfit in Burlington. They just changed hands quicker than snot. And Walensky, too. That's an old Yankee name, man. Hoy! You know, I'm telling you, when 2% of the population has 90 to 95% of all the judgeships, lawyers, doctors, and everything else, you know, it just makes you wonder. Yep, overcharged Medicaid. Yeah, sure, no problem. It's Walensky. And Jason Turner of the fraud unit, the AG's fraud unit, Medicaid fraud unit, Vermont Digger was the one who dug it up, of course. They closed unexpectedly in February and then filed for Chapter 7, bankruptcy. They serve one of 3 resident treatment plants, and they say that Maple Leaf owes more than $2 million to people and whatever. And let's see, their assets are worth $2.4 million, and its liabilities are more than $1.1 million. And little Jason Turner said that most of the money the AG's office believes they overcharged were for claims from September 2016 until it closed in January. So, wait a minute. September, October, November, December, January. 5 months. 5 months, and they skipped out on 800 grand. During that time period, didn't have sufficient alcohol and drug counselors. At one point, there was one licensed counselor for the entire business. They weren't on site at the inpatient facility. Proper services weren't being provided. They double billed the state for urine tox screenings, which accounts for the rest of the claim, or 60 grand. So they double billed the states for urine tox screenings, and then that shyster downtown in Burlington, they just, just screwed the state. They double, triple, quadruple billed, and they all walk free. You or I steal something, bang, we're going down, Jack. But not these jamokes. And 2 other facilities, Serenity House in Wallingford, that's the one where that New York City Negro girl skipped out, took firearm lessons. Great, you give firearm lessons to a nutcase. She turned around and shot the firearms instructor like 3 times in the face with a .22, thank God. It was only a .22. Now get this, this is the piece de la resistance, as the Frenchmen say. Turner said, little Jason Turner said he doesn't anticipate filings in any other court, including criminal court, because of the bankruptcy case. He said now Maple Leaf's estate trustee will have to look at which claims can be repaid using the assets available. Now they can look into which, what? No. So, because this guy's name's Walensky, I mean, what is he? Did he pay to somebody's reelection fund? What's going on with that, Todd? How does that work? Well, I think there are concerns about the collectability in this case, little Jason said. It's important to the state that the employees who are providing care get their wages paid. That's got nothing to do with criminal charges. Absolutely nothing. Hello? Hello? Anybody home? God almighty. Maple Leaf's estate trustee, Doug Walensky, declined to comment. Of course. We couldn't reach him. He was down at the synagogue eating lox and bagels. Jeez. Any action regarding claims that can't be repaid would be determined by the estate's trustee and the bankruptcy court judge. But no criminal charges. Oh, hell no. 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 The only people that go to jail are black people and people who don't pay their child support and, other assorted drunks and flunkies. And here's another example of our tax dollars at work. You ever heard of these veggie grants, Todd? They love their acronyms, don't they?
I've heard of veggie burgers.
Well, this veggie is called the Vermont Employment Growth Incentive Program. Veggie, see? Aren't we smart down in Montpelier? We can come up with acronyms like the CIA and the military do. So they're taking Logic Supply. Here it is, one right here. Here's artist rendering of the new building. Yeah, don't you love it? Just like little Billy Stinker and Quiros. They had their blueprints and artist renderings when they just hornswaggled everyone, and all we got was a smoking hole downtown, and little Billy's still working at the ski area collecting a check every week. What's the deal with that, Batman down in Florida has to get hauled up before the mast, yet Robin's running around still getting a paycheck. How's that work? Let's see. Logic Supply will earn. They're not earning anything. Well, here's the thing. It's a known fact that the banks don't have any money, okay? The banks are broke. The banks have been, they're zombies. They're walking zombies. Try and get a mortgage these days at your local bank. Logic Supply has earned financial support from the state in exchange for creating new jobs and investing in its Vermont organization. Why does that sound familiar? We pay them to make jobs. Isn't that great? I thought that was the capitalist system was supposed to take care of itself. Founded in 2003 by Roland and Lisa Grunevild, the expanding market for specialized computers. Clients include Biotech, Pony Express, NASA, Intel, GE, General Dynamics, and Comcast, NBC Universal. Well, if they got all these high-powered clients and everything, why can't they go to the bank and get money? Why are they taking our tax dollars? You and you and you and you and you and even you over there. They're taking money from us to give to a business. And how many jobs are they supposed to puke out here? Oh, 83 net new jobs. Huh, what's a net new job, Todd?
It's working for the internet.
Yeah,
A new website must
the
be.
interweb. Oh, I forgot about that.
Netscape.
It's a net job. When people go nuts, like the girl who shot the girl who shot the state worker, it's a net job where you throw the nets on the people who need it. That way we take them down and bring them back down to Waterbury. Oh, that's right, it's gone. Let's see. The Vermont the Veggie thing is an economic development program designed to support Vermont businesses' growth and expansion. The Vermont Training Program provides performance-based workforce grants, not loans, grants. This is money they ain't gonna have to pay back. We puke it out, they take it in. Grants for training new hires and workers. Logic Supply will earn up to $757,000 over 5 years if it meets the creation of the 83 new jobs and completes another $8.5 million capital construction project. Now wait a minute, if they can get $8.5 million from investors and banks or God knows where, why are we ponying up $750,000? Can you spell crony, boys and girls? C-R-N-O-N-Y. Crony. Logic Supply is exactly the kind of business the state of Vermont should be supporting and is proud to support, said Engine Phil Scott in a statement. Yeah, no weed though, no! Oh, and here we are. Oh, don't you love this? The Springheads are at it again. This is from the Voice of the Free Press. I guess there was a little brouhaha over at some basketball game, Toddster. And the St. Mike's people all took a knee. Yeah, well, you know, you want to take a knee? Here's a take a knee. Take a big boot in your butt. How's that? What the heck? Let's see. At last week's game against UVM, some St. Mike's players and coaches went down on one knee. Agony, agony, agony. They went down all right. During the playing of the national anthem, mirroring the ongoing protest against racism by the NFL players. No, the NFL players aren't protesting racism. They're protesting police violence. And in lily-white states like Maine and Vermont, the cops don't beat rich people. We don't have minorities up here, so they beat and shoot white people, unarmed white people. You remember Wayne Brunette? They executed him. Phil Greenon executed him in the shower. Ken Stevens, who had a single-shot muzzle loader, they shot his place so full of bullets, the DEA and the Burlington Pigs, that the bullets were flying into neighboring apartments. Oh, it's not racism. It's police violence. Get it right, Akisoga. Let's see. A video provided by photographer James Buck shows the gesture was met with boos and calls for the players to stand up. Take a knee from the start has been about drawing attention to the disproportionate number of African American men who are brutalized or killed at the hands of law enforcement agents. By extension, Take a Knee is about justice for people of color. POCs, POCs. Yeah, POCs, WOCs, MOCs. Yeah, no. What about the white people? You know, where's the Free Press? This is a local paper. What about the white people who've been shot by the cops? Oh, we don't mention them because, you know, we only want to get on the racism boat. It's all about, you know, everything. It's all about race, always. I forgot to call you, Todd. They had a meeting here in Newport City yesterday about Lake Memphremycock. it appears that Lake Memphremycock is aging prematurely. And what does aging prematurely mean? It's dying. That's right. Save the lake, shoot a farmer. Yeah. State environmental officials approved a plan to clean up phosphorus from Lake Memphremycock, the waterway between Vermont and Quebec. Officials agreed to move forward with the plan following a public meeting Thursday. I'm sorry, it wasn't yesterday, it was Thursday. Too much phosphorus causes excess algae growth that can lead to bacteria blooms. The EPA recently approved calls to reduce the amount of phosphorus. Calls don't do anything. You can call here and call there. You can call for social justice. No. What we need is enforcement. You can't, dude, on the way in here, you should have seen all the crap all over the highway. They're out there, they're emptying every crap pit. They're trying to meet that December 15th guideline. They're spreading that stuff like cake frosting all over the fields. Do they allow that in Europe? No. In Europe, you can only, say, have like 1 cow's waste per acre, and they enforce it. If you don't comply, you go out of business. Not here, though. Hey, they're farmers. We can't do anything about them. Despite years of work, pollution has worsened in some of the state waterways, especially Lake Champlain, where attempts to reduce phosphorus have drawn the most attention. In a second hearing planned for Tuesday in Newport, okay, I missed that one. I was right the first time. DEC will go over how the state plans to meet the new phosphorus pollution targets for Lake Memphremycock watershed. Oh yeah, we've got targets. Put a target on the farmers, okay? And oh my God, here we are. Maine voted to expand Medicaid, Toddster, over the objections of Governor Paul Le Dummy Zeke Fly LePage. Well, the credit agency said that it could challenge the budget. Oh, Moody's. What did we learn about the credit agencies during the 2008 crash, Toddster?
That they're awesome.
Yeah, they're awesomely wrong, and that they would rate this crappy paper and derivatives that the banks floated like a bad balloon, and and they never got prosecuted for it, even though they knew the paper was crap. Now they're coming back and acting like they're for real. Well, they're not for real. Moody's released a report saying the move may increase budget pressure on the state and it'll make Medicaid costs by at least $55 million. Moody's is considered one of the big 3 credit rating agencies. Oh yeah. They're full of crap, okay? Full of crap. Oh, and here it is. Here was the notice. State seeks info on lake cleanup plans. Newport. State environment officials are seeking opinions from the public about plans to clean up Lake Memphremycock. Oh, sure. The EPA has approved calls. Yeah. Second hearing planned for November 14th. The DEC will outline how the state hopes to achieve new pollution targets. Yeah, they're seeking information. They don't have a clue. They don't have a clue, okay? Oh, and here we are. You know anybody who's good with numbers, Toddster? Wants some freelancing computer work?
Maybe.
Vermont seeks contractor to scrub EB5 records. And there's the 3 stooges right there. Moe, Larry, and Curly. Oh, yeah. Little Billy Stinker, Quiro the Jamoke, and Pee-wee Scumlin, our heroes. Yeah, smug.
That's a pretty horrible picture.
Yeah, smug, thug, and drugged. That's it. The files do not include records protected by attorney-client privilege, and nor do they include documents shielded by the governor's broad executive privilege exemption. PCHAC declined to estimate how much the project might cost, but it's supposed to come out of FINRA budget. Oh, sure. How many are there? There's 1 million pages. And how much do they want to pay? At least 800,000 pages. And they said the effort would take 18 months and cost $100,000. So if you know anybody that's good with computers and wants a job, submit a bid to the state. The Department of Financial Regulation, FINRA. What a joke. Oh man, don't you love Dear Abby, Todd?
I haven't read Dear Abby in years.
Oh man, I read the thing cover to cover because the paper's so small these days anyways. Here's one. Dear Abby, when does milk go bad? Go bad? Go bad? It's always bad. It's full of pus, hormones, antibiotics, formaldehyde, Roundup. Milk is for baby cows, that's it. Adults shouldn't even drink the crap. It clogs your eye. It's nasty. Just look at that documentary, White Mischief, on YouTube or the interweb. And here's another good one. Dear Abby.
The important question is, why would you ask Dear Abby something that you can just look at the expiration date?
Yeah, well, yeah, they say that I guess the choice was that it's good after the expiration date if it hadn't been opened yet.
Well, if it smells like rotten milk, it's probably not good.
Yeah, I guess if you had, any nerves left in your nose.
If it curdles when you put it in your mug, it ain't good.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, if you've been doing coke for 10 years, like they do in New York City on Wall Street and everything, you know.
Oh, that's true.
They can't smell anymore. Here we are, making eyes at men. You know, go granny, embrace your inner slut. Stare at crotches, you she-pig. Oh, I gotta love this one. Dear Annie, my husband of 45 years. Now, if she got married at 20, she's got to be at least 65, right? Yep. If she got married at 15, she'd be 60. Dear Annie, my husband of 45 years and I are at a wit's end. We've seen counselors and tried hypnosis. I have a very unusual problem. I'm not able to stop looking at men sexually. I've had this problem all my life. A lot of the times I don't even remember looking. My husband points it out to me. I wink and look at them below the belt and try to get them to hit on me. And then I get turned on by this. I ignore my husband and tune him out. I'm in my own little world. I'm in my own little world. I shut out everything and everything else around me except my victim. It doesn't matter what the man looks like, you pygmy. Even when I'm not looking at them in a flirtatious manner, I tend to stare at men and their crotches for longer than's appropriate. This has become a horrible habit. It has to stop. My husband has been very patient with me over the years and tried to help, but now has given up on me. I feel worthless and often don't want to live anymore. I've hurt him so badly I can never be forgiven. I need to be spanked. I need to be spanked. He can never trust me again. He's afraid to go anywhere with me, not knowing what I'll do next. Please help me. Desperate in Montana.
Sincerely, Mrs. Weinstein.
Yeah, dear Mrs. Letterman. We know it's tough to be living in Montana. Your husband's beard turns you off, so of course you're going to be looking at Chuck's. And speaking of Chuck's, here it is. It's deer season. Yeah, we be stupid. First year of buck season. 2 people shot already, Toddster.
Really?
Oh, yeah. One in Grand Isle and another one over down here in Eden. Grand Island man recovering from being shot by a fellow hunter. A bullet from a Connecticut man's rifle hit 61-year-old Randall Gover in the foot. It's believed the bullet was fired 350 yards away and ricocheted, and they were not hunting in the same group. He was taken to the hospital for non-life-threatening injuries. And down in Eden, state police said a 19-year-old man was accidentally shot in the calf by a friend while hunting in Eden. 2 p.m. Saturday. 20-year-old Dakota Arnold of Eden shot his friend Cody Jones by mistake. An investigation is continuing. Oh, you know when these names start coming up that these kids are out. Yeah, Dakota? Really? I mean, is that the name of the truck he was conceived in?
No, it's the pipeline.
Yeah, that's right. And Cody. Cody and Dakota. Oh, sure. Oh, and here's the thing about the food shelf. Winooski Food Shelf helps city's neediest residents. And these people are so stupid and don't know any English, Todd. They have flashcards that show what kind of meat the stuff is. They show it. It's like they have a flashcard of a cow or a pig or a sheep or a goat. I mean, let's import more illiterate third worlders. You know what? We need them. We need the diversity. Yep, there they are right there. Come on down to the food shelf. And they said, oh, they haven't had a chance to learn English yet. Well, how long have they been here now? 5 years? 10 years? Oh. Wednesday, most of it will be gone. It pretty much goes away, especially during the holiday season. It's a very stressful time of year. But get this. This is the part that kills me. I've got a bunch of goat ropers and camel jockeys. They serve an extra boost for lower income people and those who are suffering a hardship or need to choose between food and other essentials such as medicine for an illness. Oh, sure. They need volunteers. Since Winooski is a resettlement community, yeah, of course, because all the do-gooders that brought them in live down in like Charlotte, you know, and Williston and up in the upper, you know, the upper scale neighborhoods. They don't bring them into their own town. Oh, we'll dump them into a resettlement city like Winooski or Burlington. Oh, yeah. It serves many new Americans who may be unable to screech English. A lot of the women will come and they haven't had a chance to learn English yet. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're so busy working at their full-time jobs, right, Toddster? Just haven't had a chance to learn English yet. Yeah, that's it. We're now using flashcards with various pictures of animals so that they know what food they're getting. I'd give them pork. Give them pork. Tell them it's sheep. Tell them it's halal, because we're paying for, you know, some pagan to spew Mohammed crap over it, and so that all the meat's halal, and they don't even label it. You know about that one, Toddster? At least with kosher food, right? You can look for the little U or the K on it. But with the halal stuff, they're not even labeling it because we don't want to offend the Muslims, who are what, 0.5% of the population, thank God. Oh, and here we are. They took away this guy's license to sell food in Vermont, right? Where did he resurface, Todd?
New Hampshire?
Yeah, that's right. He jumped the river. Samosa Man, his Vermont license was schlonged. That's right. Samosa Man returns, but now over the border. Yeah, I'd want to eat that food, right? Look at the bare hands, no hand washing facilities, no gloves, no nothing. And you know what, Todd? He don't even put in. He doesn't even tell the state what's in his food. Good stuff, huh?
What kind of food is it?
Oh, they're like Veronikis, or what do they call them? Pierogies, turd dumplings, you know. Yeah, he was unaware that N-D-I-B-A-L-E-M-A. Tracy Hutchins said she was unaware that Nedibilim had lost his license to sell food in Vermont, where he was a familiar presence at farmers markets and state fairs. And the town's health officer, this is over in Hanover, said she was not hardly correct, saying there was no license required. They're supposed to be by local people selling local goods. Yeah, he's local, all right. He's local all the way from Africa. Yeah. Africa, it's right down near Jamaica, Vermont, isn't it, Toddster? Or maybe Moscow, Maine.
Maybe. There's so many of these places.
Yeah. Like in Vermont, New Hampshire trying to hold on to our local agricultural history. But they're not hands-off when it comes to regulation. It's handled differently. Oh, yeah, come on, buddy. It's New Hampshire. It's live free or die. You don't inspect squat. What, are you kidding me? Hensley deferred to Colleen Smith, the administrator of New Hampshire's Food Protection Station, to answer questions of whether Nedibilim needed a license to sell food at the Hanover market. Oh, well, let's see, he had been previously licensed in New Hampshire and holds a food service license for an establishment at 6 Allen Street in Hanover. So they went to 6 Allen Street, and it turns out to be a Thai restaurant, where an employee confirmed that Nedibilim is a business partner. She said Nedibilim samosas are on the menu, yet Nedibilim did not return a call for a comment. There's no formal state-to-state notification process when a retail food service license is revoked. When a license is issued in New Hampshire, the criteria is receipt of a complete food license application followed by a satisfactory safety inspection. Ooh, ooh, yeah, right. The health agency in Vermont cited Newport for last year for repeated food safety violations, including allowing potentially hazardous foods to be out of the proper temperature and not having hand washing facilities and improper food handling. Nothing wrong with that. We can't go after him. He's got a double tap. Not only is he a minority, but he's a GNU American too. We can't enforce the laws equally. I'm telling you, Todd, if I ever get busted, I don't want to be treated like an illegal immigrant. That's all. That's all I ask. Treat me like an illegal immigrant. When the health department is contacted with licensing interests, we do inform them that Mr. does not have a license to operate in Vermont due to non-compliance with safety regs and requirements. But they weren't contacted because this African just showed up and jumped across the river and said, "Hey, I'm here." And believe me, oh, get this. Did you hear about the new Army regs, Todd? They're lowering their standards in the military. We can't get anybody to join the military because it's such a crappy job, and you have to go kill people in foreign countries where you don't even speak the language, that they're dropping the requirements, and now they're letting in nuts, cutters, and stoners, Toddster.
Yeah?
Yeah, and get this. In today's paper, No Brain McCain puked all over the generals. He said he had a hearing yesterday, and he just saw this stuff in the paper. And he's all like, "Wait a minute, how come you guys didn't tell me?" And they're all like, "Well, we can't tell you everything we're doing, Mr. McCain. Even though you're on the Armed Services Committee, it's just too much work for us poor generals. We got to get up every morning and put those stupid Custer straps on our shoulders like an 18th, 17th, 19th century general." People with a history of self-mutilation, bipolar, depression, drug and alcohol abuse can now get waivers to join the Army under a new policy enacted last August. The decision to open up the Army for nuts, sluts, cutters, and druggies is a hope of recruiting 80,000 new soldiers. Let's see. They accepted more recruits who fared poorly on aptitude tests, increased the number of waivers granted for weed use, and offered hundreds of $millions in bonuses. And you know what the difference is from bonuses from one year to another, Toddster?
No idea.
Unbelievable. Where is it? The Army offered more bonuses. In 2016, they paid $284 million in bonuses to get these kids to sign up, right? Guess how much they paid last year?
More or less?
More.
$450.
Damn it, you're close, dude.
Really?
$424 million in 2017.
Wow.
Oh, sure. While bipolar disorder can be kept under control with medication, self-mutilation, cutting yourself with sharp instruments, may signal deeper mental health issues. Oh, you think? A self-mutilation occurs in a military setting. It could be disruptive for the unit. A soldier slashing their own skin could result in blood on the floor, the assumption of a suicide attempt, or the potential need for medical evacuation from the war zone or other austere place. Oh, yeah. Accepting recruits with poor qualifications can cause problems. In 2006, an Iraqi girl was raped and her whole family killed by U.S. soldiers, one of whom needed a waiver for criminal activity and a poor educational background to sign up. Oh, sure. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So McCain's freaking out at him yesterday. He's all like, "What the hell? We had to learn about this in a USA Today on Monday. If you took a poll of this committee right now, I doubt you find a single one who'd be approving of this practice. which we now found out about reading in the daily newspaper, McCain said. We can't sacrifice quality for quantity, said Jack Reed. It's that simple. Yeah, we have to do both, and we have to work together to get it done. McCain also blasted Trump's administration and the Pentagon for failing to keep Congress informed. It's a problem that, frankly, this committee's having with the administration. We should have been told about this before it showed up in the USA Today article. Get off my lawn, said John McCain. And it gets better. They reversed the argument about self-mutilation. The prohibition on waivers will be rescinded. The ban on waivers has been in place since 2009 when it was instituted during a spike in suicides among service members. Are we seeing the same movie again, said Mr. McPherson, said John McCain. McPherson responded, Senator, unfortunately, it would seem that way. Oop-de-doop, I'm just a general. Oh, man. The Army has not changed its standards. It's a simple administrative change. Oh, sure. History's shown when you bring in individuals that's a risk involved in that. The Army declined to say whether the waivers have been issued, a fact that rankled McCain and prompted his threat to halt confirmation for key spots in the Pentagon. The U.S. Army will not respond to how many waivers have been issued since the policy was changed, McCain said. What you do to us here is you face us with an unacceptable option. That is, to get the information, which you just verbally heard, is to stop confirming people for jobs. McCain went on at times incredulously, wondering whether the Army would rescind its ban rescind the ban. Self-mutilation is something that it comes home to roost, McCain said. He promised to pursue legislation to prevent the alarmed Army from allowing waivers. Get off my lawn! Nuts, sluts, cutters, they're all welcome here. We can't get anybody to join the Army. Who wants to go die? And here we are. This is a Nation article in the Nation this month too. This bail scam is getting out of hand, Todd. They're arresting. See, they stopped getting a lot of federal money. So what do? The cops, they prey on poor people, like in Ferguson, Missouri. They write you up for everything. They write you up for jaywalking. They write you up for no taillight. They write you up for a bad muffler. They write you up for everything, right? And here's just one example. I'll read you. This is from this week's Nation. The price of justice. Let's see. Vera Cheeks, a resident of Bainbridge, Georgia, ticketed. She rolled through a stop sign 2014. The judge hit her with a $135 fine, ordered to pay immediately. She told him he was unemployed and caring for a terminally ill father, so he gave her 3 months to pay up, during which time she'd be on probation. Probation's in quote marks because guess what? Probation is now administered by a private non-profit company, Toddster. Yeah. Hey, can you spell crony, boys and girls? C-R-O-N-Y. He sent her to a room behind the courtroom where the long line of people, all of them black, were waiting to pay money to a woman behind the desk. It was like the Twilight Zone, totally mind-boggling, said Cheeks. The woman behind the desk told Cheeks she had to sign a paper indicating she had been placed on probation and now owed $267. The fine plus $105 for the probation company that would be monitoring her, as well as $27 for the crime emergency fund. When she refused to agree to it, the woman who worked for the probation company told her the judge would put her in jail for 5 days. She still refused, and finally the woman demanded $50 on the spot if she would avoid being jailed. Her fiancé had to go out and pawn her engagement ring and the weed eater to avoid the crisis. She still was told she'd be jailed if she was late on one payment. She went home furious. She knew that all the people, they knew something was wrong, but they're too scared to do anything because of the cops. You know, this is getting out of hand. It's us versus them, you know, and we're getting sick of paying for all these stupid fines and stuff. Cheek was fortunate. She found a lawyer, and a great one, at the, what do they call it, the Southern Center for Human Rights. But that's what they do. And then here we are. And here's another one. Fascist pigs plant drugs and weapons, and they lie under oath. This stuff goes back, way back, to the war on drugs. And it's brought out in this article about the guy who defended the woman in the Brigham decision, the school funding thing, Toddster. He just died, right? Grief said Ginsburg never retired to his work, and his long career included authoring a report about police dick Paul Lawrence, who was arrested in 1974 after Chittenden County's the DA, Patrick Palmer-Leahy, found that Lawrence planted drugs on suspects. Oh, that never happens anymore, right? Right. After reviewing Ginsburg's report, Governor Salmon pardoned 71 Vermonters wrongly convicted of fabricated drug charges. So that's it. We're getting set up and knocked down like bowling pins by the fascist pigs, man. And oh man. You know, these people can't even get their metaphors right, Toddster. Witness in the Jody Herring trial, she got up on court and said that she heard a message on the answering machine from Jody Herring saying that she was going to come over and shoot their brains out. No, 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 no. It's blow your brains out. No, not shoot your brains out. It's blow your brains out. You get it? It's called a mixed metaphor. You blew it. You might want to stop calling DCF or I'm going to come there and shoot your brains out. Oh, God. And David Slay saying they should have kept her. She was she was in the nut house, and then they let her loose early, and after they let her out, she snapped. I'm betting she was on those SSRI drugs. She probably still is. Look at the blank look on her face. I'm on Prozac, Abilify. I like it. I'm not depressed anymore either. I don't have any thoughts. I don't have any emotions. I don't have those mood swings like I used to. Yeah, I'm happy. I love this stuff. I want more of it. Good going. And here we are. Cheers to the veterans. Yay, drink up, you chucks. Yeah, let's have more vets getting more drunk. Support our killers. Yo, sure. Let's go get cocked. We'll go and shoot up some Hajis too. Yay, support our killers. Oh, man. Secret bar expected to open up on College Street in a few weeks, Toddster. And
secret bar?
Yeah, a secret bar.
How do they make any money if they're a secret?
Well, it's going to spread by word of mouth.
Oh, Skull and Bones?
Yo, by mice.
Oh.
Word of mice. And then there's a high-end sushi bar planned for Burlington. You know what? I grew up near the ocean, okay? We used to go deep sea fishing. You know what we called sushi? Chum, okay? Bait. That's what we called sushi. Man, oh man. Crappy food, cancer hall. Yeah, enjoy your cirrhosis. Yo, sure. Yeah, it's called bait. It's chum. Man, it's not sushi. Liquid tumors, cash only too. Yeah. He was angry because in Montpelier he was angered by paying $15 for a vodka and soda in Boston. What am I paying for? Not vodka and soda. I'm paying for a chandelier and the salmon I'm never going to order. I'm paying for the real estate on Boston Common. Oh, great. Everything is $5. From beers on tap to wine and liquor, plus chili and mac, the only food item. They'll be open at 5 p.m., 5 days a week. And where did they say it was cash only? Let's see. Secret bar, everything costs $5. I thought it was cash only. It can't be, though. They'll never make any money. Oh, man. And look at this. Former TV anchor said Kevin Spacey sexually assaulted her teenage son. Oh, and there's Governor LeDummy with the Zeke fly. There he is right there. Yeah. And oh, man. And this woman, she's complaining about this dirty queer buggering boys, right? Or, you know. And the kid was pounding down drinks in a bar at 18, and there's no mention about that, Toddster.
It might have been legal there.
Oh, no, yeah, not on Nantucket, no way.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize it was there.
Yeah, Former TV news anchor said Wednesday that Kevin Spacey sexually assaulted her teenage son last year at a Nantucket restaurant. Heather Unruh said her son, who was
last year?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought this is like 30 years ago.
No, drinking age was 18 until Reagan.
Yeah. Okay.
Heather Unruh said her son, who was 18 at the time, was starstruck during a chance encounter with Spacey at the Club Car restaurant's crowded bar in July last year. Unruh said Spacey bought her son drink after drink, then stuck his hand down the drunk teen's pants and grabbed his genitals. No mention about the kid drinking in a bar underage 3 years before he's 21. Oh, we don't even mention that part. Really, because he grabbed his junk? What, are you kidding me? I mentioned last week that I've been hassled by queers. I think I'm going to go on that Me Too website, Toddster. We used to get it all the time. One time I got picked up by an old line Lunenburg guy, right? I mean, it's one of these old Lunenburg money families, like the Richardsons and those guys, right? Mm-hmm. And this kid picks me up in his Spitfire, and he's got on short shorts and his junk's hanging out. So I'm just driving. I got to go to Fitchburg. I'm like looking out the window and stuff, trying not to pretend that his junk isn't hanging out. But at least he didn't grab me, right? Then I signed up for college courses at Mount Wachusett, right, in Gardner. And I had a professor. I won't mention his name, but it was like something like Graves. And he was head of the theater department, too. That should have tipped me off. So my car was in the garage. He gives me a ride home from the Mount, and he was married and stuff, too. So we go to my apartment. He bought a six-pack, and we're drinking some beers and yucking it up and stuff, right? And my roommate, Kevin, wasn't there. Next thing you know, this queer starts coming after me, right? And I couldn't even punch him because I had a sprained wrist. I had to go into my kitchen and get a big old honking knife and chase him out of my apartment with a knife. He wouldn't take no for an answer, Todd. I really like you. I really like you. I'm all like, get out of here. I'm going to tell your wife. Oh, no, please don't tell my wife. Oh, please don't tell my wife. And then two more times, when I was hitchhiking across country, the queers were getting off the interstate at the Mass Pike. I was headed west, right? And they were all rolling down their windows and whistling at me and stuff. The only way I could get rid of them, Todd, was I had to throw rocks at their cars. And still they wouldn't, they're still there over there whistling and stuff. The people in the toll booths were cracking up. They weren't going to call the cops on me because I was just trying to get rid of the queers, right? And then, again, I'm hitchhiking across the New York State Thruway, and this is in 1977. Guy picks me up in a van, insists that I go home with him. I'm all like, no, buddy, I got to keep going. I got to get to San Diego as soon as I can. He's all, no, I insist. You stay at my house tonight. I'm getting off at this exit. I grab the shifting lever. I says, look, buddy, if you don't let me out of this van right now, I'm going to throw this thing in park, and we're all going to go down the road end over end, He said, all right. I'll let you out right here. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I just thought you were cute, man. It's like, get out of town. You think it only happens to women? Wrong. It doesn't.
You just need to stop being so damn good looking.
Well, that was when I was a lot younger, Todd. It ain't nothing like it is now. Well, I don't know. I've taken pretty good care of myself. And speaking of queers, here we are. I was reading this article about handmade soap, right, Todd? And of course it goes right back to queers. Queer soap, he's making it for his husband. You know what? What has that got to do with making soap? We don't care who you're making it for. And you know what? We don't care if you're queer or not. We're all done with this stuff. Great, you're queer. So what? Is that the measure of your whole life? You're now measured by who you sleep with? Please. Let's see. A self-described germaphone, he also liked knowing that only 1 or 2 people made the soap. And where the heck is it? His counselor started making, his name is Gates Counselor. He started making soap as a hobby after he found it difficult to find handmade soap for him and his husband that wasn't girly. You gotta be kidding me. What has being queer got to do with making soap? I know what it has to do with, you know, with the soap on a rope.
You got 10 minutes left.
All right, we're rolling. We're rolling. I'm getting a lot done. And then here we are. I Am an American. Another one this week. And this time it's a Pixie Mexi Lesbo. That's okay. And she's trying to remove the barriers in art, Todd.
I didn't know there were barriers in art.
Exactly. What barriers are there in art?
I thought the whole point of art was that there were no barriers.
Yeah, you think? Well, maybe it's not gender specific or who knows what. Oh, and they're still dealing with 2 cows down in Burlington.
Color by numbers that tell you what color and what lines to paint it.
Yeah, stay within the lines, boys and girls.
I say if 3 is yellow, I'm making it purple.
Yeah, why not? Like Picasso. I'm Picasso.
Yeah.
And here they are. They're still dealing with the 2 cows down in Burlington. Now, didn't we have a problem with these 2 cows people, Todd?
Sort of. It took us a while to get our domain back in our possession, but we have it now.
We got it back finally?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's why our website was NEK-TVonline.com for a while.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have NEK-TV.com. Now we do. We've got both now.
These weasels would not give up their domain name. They started the website, you know, years ago. And, you know, we're a nonprofit. We don't have a lot of money here. And yet they just said, no, it's our domain name, you know. Well, yeah, I got your 2 cows swinging, okay? That's it. Get out of here. Get out of town. Oh, and here we are. Yay, brain damage. Oh, don't you love this stuff? Down to the wire. Okay, never mind the head injuries. Oh, they last for life, and the other injuries too. But, you know, you want to be a dumbass jock? Well, be a dumbass jock. You think you're slow now, man. Oh, and, you know, it's just nuts because Governor Phil Scott says we can't have weed here or anything, but, man, oh, man, we can have football. We can let the kids go out and slam their heads together in football and hockey, you know. No weed, though. That might screw up their brains. And speaking of which, there's a pictures of Aaron Hernandez's abnormal brain. Yeah, okay. Guy was 27 years old. He took so many hits, his brain was junk. And yet we still allow the kids. No weed, though. No weed, mister. That weed's bad for kids. Oh, yeah. It'll really screw them up. And look at this. They're having cocktail parties for infertility. Well, you know what? You know what causes infertility, honey? Alcohol. It causes infertility, breast cancer. I mean, come on. What are you people, stupid? Oh, I'm going to freeze my eggs, man, because I'm just not ready. And, you know, I want to unfreeze them in a couple years like Walt Disney's head. Oh, sure. Even though it costs like millions of dollars, it's insane. Egg freezing costs between 10 and 15 grand for the procedure, and then thawing them out and fertilizing could cost thousands more later. Oh yeah, sure. Egg freezing gives women control over their reproductive health and fertility, but not everyone can afford it, and it don't always work. Oh God almighty. Yeah, cocktail parties. You gotta be kidding me. Oh, and here we are. Senate confirms Christina Nolan, the first woman U.S. attorney for Vermont. And I'm looking at this picture and I'm all like, wow, why the long face, honey? And then I was looking at her and I'm all like, oh, sorry. Like Lady Gaga, she was born that way. Oh, I'm sure she'll be great though. Yeah.
5 minutes.
Just jail more New York City Negroes. Oh man, oh man. And here we are. Here's a picture of the common beaver, Toddster. Have you ever seen a real uncommon beaver, Todd?
I mean,
have you ever eaten
no comment.
it? Have you ever eaten an uncommon beaver?
I'm a vegetarian.
Me too, but I used to eat a lot of beaver. It's a miracle I didn't wind up with throat cancer like Michael Douglas, man. I've had my snuff in the muff more times than I could. Oh, man. That's one thing. The girls used to love it when they found out I played harmonica. It really exercises your mouth. Oh, and it was Veterans Day. You know what? No, it was not Veterans Day. 11/11 is Armistice Day. It was a peace holiday. But you know what? We've turned it into a, into a day for killing. That's right. Yep, support our killers, punks, drunks, and chumps. Good grief, man. On the 11th minute of the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, that's when the armistice stopped the war, World War I. Yeah, this gunman, he got a light penalty and abuse of his family. Oh, sure, and the Air Force couldn't even bother giving the records to the NCIC. Unbelievable. And then, again, we had thunder snow last week. Did you hear that at 1 a.m., Todd?
No, I didn't hear it, but I heard a lot of people talk about it.
It was
when I go to sleep, I'm out.
Oh, man, dude, it was unbelievable. It was like, I thought it was one of those meteors like they had in Russia,
Yep.
And here it is, it's Camel's Hump. No, it's not Camel's Hump, it's Camel's Rump. They look on the old maps. It's always listed as Camel's Rump, not Camel's Hump. There's a difference between a rump and a hump, fool. At 1 o'clock, bang, the thing lit up. And then thunder kept rolling and rolling for 30 seconds. I looked at my watch afterwards. It was unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. And Trump to the slopes. F you, that's right. America first. And here we are. Farmers need to support each other. You know what? No. These people are not farmers, okay? It's an industry. Mega dairy is an industry. The cows never get to leave. They're fed crappy food. They get crap on their feet, strawberry hoof warts. They're dumping formaldehyde into the crap pits and spreading it around. But that's okay. That's okay.
2 minutes.
Okay. Well, last but not least, you gotta love this, man. What is up with this? When I worked in the kitchen, we weren't allowed to have facial hair because people would, it gets in the food and it looks like a pubic hair, okay? And here's this Chuck bending over a grill with a big old honking beard. You want facial hair with that? I know it looks like a pube, but I think I washed my hands last time I went to the bathroom. I'm not sure. Well, once again, you wasted a perfectly good hour of your life. Oh, and enjoy the bass on this song, man. Toddster put on Crossroads for me. Just listen to Ginger Baker on the bass. Turn up the bass. It's a whole nother world. So hopefully we'll see you again next week, inshallah. Good Lord willing, the creek don't rise. Until then, wave the flies away from your head, and get down on your hands and knees, sniff the bum of the guy in front of you, just like these boneheads. Head east and go, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Akbar.